wonderful you are and why we should vote for you.
Sure. Well, thank you, Ellen, and the Democratic Town Committee for hosting this evening's Town Election Candidates Forum. It's been a tough year for all of us in Acton, including those who work in the public sector. We owe thanks to our municipal staff and our first responders, whose work has continued unabated, and many have seen their duties increased. We owe thanks to our teachers who have adapted on the fly and done everything possible to maintain Acton-Boxborough's excellence in education. I've enjoyed working with the 4 men and 3 women who have been my colleagues on the select board in my first term. Together, we adopted a sustainability policy for the town and authorized the hiring of the town's first sustainability director. From aligned ideas of my colleague David Martin and myself, we created a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusivity Commission. We achieved the 10% 40B affordable housing threshold. We acquired 6+ acres along Piper Lane to connect portions of the Great Hill Conservation and Recreation lands. Personally, I take satisfaction in my leadership role in the outreach efforts to secure town meeting funding for the Kelly's Corner infrastructure project in 2019 and 2020, the North Acton Fire Station in 2019, a project dating back to the 1970s, and the Small Business Grant Program in 2020, providing up to $4,000 each in badly needed funds to 43 local businesses due to the pandemic. First and foremost, if re-elected to a second term, I will work with my colleagues and the town manager to inform and reassure the public on the COVID-19 pandemic. We all hope 2021 will bring about gradually improving circumstances. I also look forward to receiving and implementing the recommendations of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusivity Commission. Race relations is not an abstract issue for me. I am a graduate of Howard University's law school and am the grandfather of a biracial little girl. George Floyd's death in police custody brought 400 years of racism and discrimination to the fore. Bettering race relations is everybody's responsibility. Next, second, I would work to recruit the next generation of diverse Actonians to serve on town boards and committees. And 3, maintaining the 10% 40B affordable housing threshold achievement after the 2020 census updates, plus overseeing the implementation of the 2020 housing production plan and reaffirming our commitment as a town to affordable housing. The real test for us is to make it feasible for minorities of lesser socioeconomic means to move into our neighborhoods. Concerns over traffic, density, right size, design of the neighborhood should not be roadblocks. It has been an honor to serve the community during the past 3 years. I am very grateful for the continuing support of many in the community and the endorsements of over 25 current and past leaders of the community. Thank you again to the Democratic Town Committee.
Thank you, John. Now we have 3 questions for you, same questions.
Sure.
Pretend you haven't heard them already. Number 1 is, what skills or experiences do you have that helped you prepare for service on the select board?
Sure. I practiced.
1 minute.
I practiced family law for 42 years, and I represented good people who were going through a difficult time. I learned to be a good listener, how to manage expectations, to keep the temperature down, and negotiate agreements that would pass the test of time. My town service includes a member of the Finance Committee for 3 years in the 1980s. I served on 3 town manager search committees in 1986, 2007, and 2018. I had leadership roles in several 2.5 override campaigns. I was on the CPC for 5 years, 2005 to 2010, and the Finance Committee again in 2016 to 2018. Through my wife, Pam Lynn, who taught in the schools for 45 years and was chair of the social studies department for a better part of that time, I learned the school side of government. So important, coming to the board, you have to come with no agenda and an open mind. And you need to be able to balance interests, make trade-offs, and work with your fellow board members to reach practical solutions for real-life community needs.
Thank you. Thank you. Second question, in 3 to 5 years, what would you see as 2 specific accomplishments in Acton resulting from your leadership in the upcoming term?
Sure. I'd like to see the end of racial and ethnic slurring, which has been passed down from generation to generation. I would also like for white people to have the same non-reaction to a Black person passing your house as when a white person does. From my 3 years at Howard Law School, the big issue there was familiarity with each other. We had 200 in our first year, 200 members of our first year class, 30 were white. We were all in a bubble together. And it was just familiarity over time. I'll share one quick anecdote. Those were the years when the Celtics, Knicks, and Bullets had great basketball teams. We were all glued to, particularly during the playoff season. I was a Knicks fan, and we were sitting there one day talking about the Knicks, and one of the fellas goes, "DeBusschere's bad." And I go, "What?" And they go, no, John, that means he's good." So it was stuff like that that broke down, barriers and brought people together. The second area that I'd like to talk briefly about is building on the capital improvements that we started in 2019 with town meeting and town-wide support for the Douglas Gates Twin School, the North Acton Fire Station. John Mangiarotti will be presenting a very thoughtful 10-year capital plan to the community shortly. And much as we did from 1995 to 2005, where we renovated and enlarged the Memorial Library to what has become really a community center, for the acquisition of land and the building of Narrow Park, the building of the McCarthy Town Miriam Twin School, the renovation and expansion of the junior and senior high school, and the building of the our public safety building. That's a forward-thinking community. So I'd like to address race and looking to the future.
Thank you, John. You're going a little over time.
Yeah,
so
I know. Yeah.
Keep the next one to a minute, please.
Okay.
What experiences have you had working for and/or against affordable housing in Acton or another town initiative? And why did you take the position you did?
Yeah, we met the 10% 40B affordability threshold this past year. I supported the Avalon 2 affordable housing development, which brought 80 rental units on, and the apartments at Powder Mill, which brought 230 units on. The good news that we learned the other day is the residences at Kelly's Corner, that's 36 affordable units, received their funding from the state, and that project will go forward. That project will put us over the 10% reset number based on the 2020 census, so we'll be good through 2030. The safe harbor. I'm sorry, the safe harbor.
Could you be winding up, John?
I'm sorry?
Could you be winding up? We're trying to.
Yeah, could you give me 15 seconds, please, and I'll be winded up. Safe harbor, it allows us to step back and assess our housing needs thoughtfully and responsibly. And even though we were in safe harbor in 2020, we went ahead and approved the Grandview developments, an age 55 restricted community, 32 24 market rate units